Hello everybody. This is good, ain't it? I'm glad to be back. We've got episode 5 of Clip It podcast, the best podcast on Twitch without the best podcast on Twitch without the sponsorship from Dr. Disrespect. Boys, we are excited. I hope you are having a good week. Us royal family are definitely having a good week, and I especially am, thanks to you wonderful people out there. Thank you so much for yesterday. It was a fucking hell of a stream, and even the stream earlier today was really fun, so I appreciate that. But I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We got some fun topics to talk about, some debates, and we got an extra guest on, which, you know, he hasn't been on apparently. I feel like he has, but apparently he hasn't. I don't know, but you know, I'll introduce everybody in a minute. So, what are we going to talk about? I don't really know, to be completely honest. I've got a few things I want to talk about, but I know Delicious definitely has a topic which will last about 2 seconds, so we'll get into that to start the stream. Anyway, shall we introduce the guests? Al. Hey, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, the camera's faded
really
in. Okay, very fancy.
Yes, the cameras do fade in. We are joined here, and I'll start above me from our wonderful people, Agent Oink.
What's up?
Universal Madness.
Hello.
And Delicious.
With no pause.
I am a professional. As Reese has said many times today, this is a professional podcast.
Indeed.
I hope you're all doing very well. And it's been a while since we've had webcams on. For, I want to say that we haven't had one on Clip It yet, so...
I don't think so.
No, this would be the first one on Clip It, but we definitely had 2 or 3 times on all of them.
Looking especially white, you know.
Yeah.
Hope you guys...
Did you get them whitened?
No.
Oh, wow.
Natural.
Wow.
Banana peel, that's what does it.
The banana peels are the way of the future, apparently.
White. I don't know.
But yeah, we've cleaned up the setup a little bit. Sorry. I've changed it just so it's instead of donations are subs, because we seem to have a lot of those recently. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. Anyway, let's not talk about my personal streaming. Let's get into the podcast. I know Delicious, as mentioned in the intro, has some topics, or he has a topic he wants to talk about, which lasts us about 5 minutes, maybe. And I've got some things I want to talk about. So I don't know. Would you like to start with that, just to start off the stream?
I would like to point out I didn't mention it in the intro. You did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just based on a tweet from Twitter. Frankly enough, I believe it was a tweet. I'm gonna look real stupid if it wasn't. Saying that they'll give us an edit button when all people wear face masks.
Oh yeah.
It was a pretty good tweet.
Obviously, a snarky remark as to how that's neither of those things are ever going to happen. And although I wouldn't say it's absolutely not top priority, like you definitely don't need it, I think it will be a nice addition.
Yeah.
I can understand, because, you know, more or less every other social media has it.
I only know about Facebook, I suppose...
Does Facebook even have it, now that I was thinking about it? Okay.
Facebook does. Reddit, I think, does. Those are the only 2 I know. I assume Instagram doesn't, but I don't know, because I don't
think it does.
I don't think so, but I use Instagram so rarely.
But that's more of a photo thing, more than a text-based interaction as well. So kind of
I did forget to mention something, so I'll be back with you in just a moment, okay? I just wanted to add that on this podcast, for every time you see Reese's dad walk past the screen, take a shot.
God.
Anyway, let's go.
Okay, I'm just gonna very quickly BRB a second.
This is absolutely murder, and like what? At least the second.
If he walked off as your dad walked past, I would have genuinely cried.
Right.
But yeah, no, about the Twitch. I think about it, not even that many social medias have an edit button. Facebook, Reddit.
I mean, yeah, I'd be
Those are the main
interested.
ones I know about. I don't know about Tumblr because I never use that either.
You know, it has been so many years since I used Tumblr. I genuinely can't remember.
I genuinely can't remember
God.
either. I don't
I
use
don't
Tumblr.
think so.
What about MySpace? That's the real question. Did
MySpace did.
MySpace?
Oh, yeah,
There
MySpace
we go,
did.
Ben. All social media should have it. That's proof right there.
Okay, so interesting question, because I don't use Facebook, as those that know me will know, because they
Yes.
can't find me on Facebook.
Who's been looking?
We've tried.
No one. If you edit a post on Facebook,
Yeah.
does it show that it's been edited? Like, does it separate, or do you have to add yourself, like, edit : like some people would
It
consider tradition?
shows that it's been edited, and you can also view the edit history, which is something. If
Okay.
Twitter were to implement it, that's what I'd want.
Oh,
I'd
definitely.
want to
I
view the
think it's incredibly necessary that it's clear something has been edited and what the history
Oh,
was.
absolutely. Yeah.
Amount of shit that's been dug up on Twitter, which, again, I feel like people just use in non-contextual ways, which just ruins other people's careers. It's still having a nice edit would be nice because people do make mistakes when they post, and
People have suggested things like you can only edit up to 30 seconds or a minute after the initial post if you catch a spelling mistake. It's always great how you catch them when you've posted, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
But,
always just it's when you start reading them back and like, fuck.
yeah, we need Grammarly built into Twitter. It's been advertised enough.
My boss has Grammarly on her computer, and every time I'm typing, it's just like, oh, you made this mistake, made that mistake. I'm like, I don't.
It's
give
just
two
a
shits.
bit too keen.
Yeah.
Me, Grammarly.
No, it is.
I know you can
haven't,
just say
admittedly,
things.
I haven't used Grammarly in years. But when I first used it, its understanding of British English was abysmal. Its understanding of American English was flawless. And basically, it decided everything I had written was impossible because the word taught isn't a thing, or the word like whatever isn't a thing. And it's just
that's
like,
the one
fuck
thing
off.
I hate about Facebook is when you're messaging people, and you're like,
you know what I mean? I just picked a random word. It was
Yeah.
on Twitter.
every time I'm messaging people on Facebook and I spell colour, it's like, no, you spelled that wrong. Did I?
I mean, that's probably because you have your
Localization.
computer or Chrome spell check in the wrong language.
No, whatever. Whatever. If
To
I'm on
be
my
fair,
phone,
yeah,
if I'm
website
on my computer.
localization is quite appalling when it comes to check. Like, it's not something that bothers me because I can, I'll just add in the U and ignore it. But it's weird how it is quite poor at times, especially for the larger sites.
All spell checks hate me because I can't spell for shit. So
Oh, just like me, dyslexia.
All I'm questioning is, are you suggesting that on websites you go on, you type color with a U, it would say it was incorrect?
Yeah.
Because that's not the website.
Certain websites, not all of them.
No, because websites don't provide spell check. That's done at the browser level, and that's based on
Okay.
your browser/system language.
Oh, it's Facebook that I always have that issue with.
I'm
like,
saying, but then
Twitter
I'm
doesn't have a.
interested to
Do that?
know.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
check.
why I'm saying
Let me
I'm
just
interested
quickly
then,
check.
because why would I only be on certain?
By the way, thank you very much, Evan, for the 100 bits. Topic for you: the next
Let me see
game
if
type
that
to
happens
become
for
the
me
next.
now, because it's
big.
quite temperamental and I don't know exactly what to say.
Oh, okay, so that's a cool topic we'll talk about after. Evan mentions what do you
Okay.
think could be the next big topic? I.e., like at the moment, Battle Royale is really big, as we all know. What do we think might be the next big one? It's obviously insane to say. Nobody really knows.
Change your Chrome local.
But I think that'd be a cool topic we should talk about after.
Yeah, no, I think
Thanks for that, Evan.
it's a place to go. Good.
It is somewhere. Settings,
Yeah,
language. Yeah, settings. You have
That
to
sounds
drop down
bad.
advanced, then language. Then you can change. You have basic spell check or enhanced spell check. Of which basic is local, enhanced is sent across the internet. And then you can change it to use English United Kingdom or English United States, or I think that's the only languages Chrome supports. Yeah.
So, just want to let you know, everyone as well, if you are in the Discord, you are fully aware of this, but episode 3 of our podcast is now available on the channel.
Pretty pog.
Did we comment on it when we hit early access? We absolutely should have if we didn't.
We should have.
Why didn't we? Oh, man.
We have no brain cells.
No, it was...
Okay, yeah, okay. Twitter, okay, so it's... oh, fuck.
Really?
I just saw my mouse go over both of your screens for no reason. But yeah, no, but I don't know. I feel like more places need edit, honestly.
I don't know.
Wikipedia needs an edit button for just the folk, everybody.
It's interesting to me, I'd say, as someone that uses Twitter as my main social media, the concept of an edit button is obviously something that has been, it's been strongly advocated for on both sides across Twitter.
So
and I
was
get
the increase
why.
from like 140 characters, though. Remember
Yeah,
that?
I get why Twitter doesn't have an edit button,
Yeah.
but even though I think I'd prefer not having it, because it just sounds really irritating to me scrolling through Twitter. And whereas now I see something that could be like something controversial that someone's tweeted out, right?
Mm.
And I'll be like, okay, let's click on this. Yep, this is the official account. I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's a bit of a weird thing. Now I'm going to have to do that. Then I'm going to, oh, what's Piers Morgan tweeted now? I'm going to edit history and see that he's changed it 614 times
This is
to say
a
different
weird idea.
spellings of things. It's like, I'd rather just people had to just delete tweets.
I had a weird idea, and I'm fairly certain this probably wouldn't work in the real world. I was wondering what if they put the edit history, if they were to do that, in as a reply, so that way you could still see the current tweet, you could see the edit history, you could easily share it without having to take a screen grab, which could have been altered or so on.
So all of
Definitely
my
not a
tweets
perfect
would just be
solution,
100 replies to a single
I
tweet.
mean, like, a good example is I use TweetDeck quite a lot, and I have the Better TTV extension that modifies it. And what that lets me do is if I look at one of my tweets, I can hit the three dots and there'll be quote, edit, end quote. What that will do is delete the tweet with the text then in the new tweet box. So I can go through, or if it's in reply to someone, the reply box will open and it'll bring it up. So I can basically edit something that I've tweeted. The problem with that is that if I've got a thread and it's the 6th tweet in the thread, you can't delete that and reply and keep the chain of threads. It severs the chain.
Right.
I would like an ability to have a chain of 10 tweets, delete that tweet, and then insert a new one in there. Because, it's your tweets. Like, there's no real problem with that. And I feel like that would be fine. And that would solve, like, most editing problems then.
Can we also point out that TweetDeck should be more standardized? I feel like more people should use TweetDeck.
TweetDeck's the best way to use Twitter.
Yeah. The fact that, like, I haven't used Twitter in a long time, but it doesn't update automatically. It's like having TweetDeck and comparing it to normal Twitter is night and day. The fact that TweetDeck is constant updates, constant feed, and as far as where Twitter you have to update to see that, or it doesn't update as fast. And the fact you can have so many more things up on TweetDeck is just so useful.
I thought I looked into downloading it once, and I can't remember why I didn't now.
It depends. Like, if you don't follow enough people, I don't think it's worth it. Right? And if you don't make use of things like lists on Twitter, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I like my TweetDeck setup because I follow how many people now? 951. That was really easy for me to check because I'm browsing Twitter. Because I do it 24/7. But my list, the main list that I use, does it tell me? 103 people in it, which is the people that I really care about.
I'm not one of
friends, news orgs that I want to see stuff from regularly. So when I look at Twitter, I see a pretty regularly updating stream of TweetDeck, a pretty regularly stream of updating stuff from the people that I've gone like, I am acquainted or know of this person, so I want to be able to have access to their information. And that's just going through shit like Emma Blackery tweeting something from a Twitter account, whatever, cool. But then in my important thing, I can see like, oh, that's someone from the Overwatch League that I like. Oh, that's Swift on Security, a Twitter account that you should definitely follow. Oh, that's Many a True Nerd. That's someone that I care about. Oh, that's The Onion. That's a news org that I care about, if you consider them a news org. And it's just the important stuff in one column. So I can always look at my feed and just see generally what's going on and then what actually I care about the most. And that makes it really useful to me. Because the problem with the Twitter homepage when you follow this many people is every other fucking thing is Elon Musk liked this random tweet. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care that Dara O'Brien fucking liked a tweet from BBC Politics. I'm not interested. Just show me shit that's important, which is what TweetDeck does.
Yeah, and the fact that when you're following that many people, the same with YouTube, it's not going to give you all the entire feed. It's obviously going to skip people because it can't fit your feed. And it's an algorithm that, works most of the time, especially on YouTube. But like every now and then I'll be like, oh, I forgot about this content creator. Like I'll see a video of a content creator. I'm like, I remember this fella. I should subscribe to him. oh, I'm subscribed to him. Why have I not seen his stuff in my feed? Like, I'm following like I've subscribed to like 500 people on my current account. I know Alfie could beat me by about 400, but not a competition.
Questionable people. Hi.
929 on YouTube.
Okay, but it's not a
But again,
competition.
I don't use subscriptions on YouTube. I use email notifications, and only the people I care about I get emails from. I can go in my emails right now and see that a channel I want to watch uploaded a video. The same for Float Playing, which you should definitely get.
I'm
Yes.
trying to cut down on my subscribe channels. Like right now, I'm at less than 300.
Can we all, by the way,
The thing is,
sorry, can I just say
Go on.
something? You mentioned Floatplane. Can all subscribers email Floatplane saying that they made a big mistake not letting me on their platform?
Oh God.
I got a personalised review. I got a personalised email from
they
them
actually
saying,
reviewed his application.
yeah,
Oh shit.
they were like, sorry,
It's
we
really
don't think your content is par with us, basically.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They said it in the generic
they literally said that and said, come back to us, come back to us in the future.
Yeah, come back when you're bigger.
Yeah, come back when you got more than when you got more than.
actually
Come back when you got 50 subs.
Oh, no, I think you're making this sound worse than it was. I thought the email they sent you was actually pretty supportive.
Oh, it was a personalised one. It was a nice one. I'm going to try and find it quick.
You say personalized. It was.
Oh, Floatplane are a tiny company that only have like. How many content
Yeah,
creators
but
do
it
they
was
have at the
probably
moment?
personalized to the same extent when you
Content
get like
creators.
a
Yeah.
letter from YouTube that has the printed
Currently,
signature of Susan.
it
I've
is
got a
Linus Tech Tips channel, but it's actually any LMG product. So Tech Quickie, Short Circuit, Channel Super Fun, Carpool Critics, LTT Vids. Bitwit, Tech Deals, EPOS Vox, UFD, Tech Level 1 Techs, 3D Printing Nerd, The Mighty Jingles, Restore It, Bad Seed Tech, Robert Neal, Lawful Masters, The Land of French, Forgotten Weapons, and Gear Seekers. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like Floatplane a lot.
they are good.
Mostly because the content's higher quality. Honestly, that's the most underappreciated thing about Floatplane. Like
Right.
watching an LTT video, you can, I don't know, maybe you're watching us on smaller things, but I can see the quality difference in the higher bit rate.
They have
It's
HDR.
so much nicer. No, but they are working on it. It's not
What?
Like,
No,
priority,
they're not.
But it's not priority, but because they want to start filming in HDR, or I can't remember where they are. They do want to get HDR on Floatplane, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, that's
Didn't
actually really dope.
Didn't YouTube try that?
Floatplane has streams as well.
Not
People
that I
don't
know of.
realize this, but like Wancho streamed to Floatplane and shit. Like,
Oh, I don't care
Right.
about.
mean,
Apart from this one, twitch.tv/tacticaltv.
I'm almost certain YouTube tried some sort of like HDR at some point maybe.
pretty sure YouTube has HDR support.
Yeah. Okay, I
Looking
don't know
up
if
on
it's
HDR
good.
YouTube.
I do apologise. Discord is fucking up as always,
What?
and for some reason it's just got rid of your webcams, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, some interesting lines there on the stream.
Hmm.
I was going to say just quickly, like, whilst you were talking about Twitter earlier, and just how the feed works. So much better than Facebook's native one, which is a
imagine
semi-randomly generated list that's vaguely newest first, but also what's popular, but also what's not. So it's just a
Yeah.
mishmash of pages. Very rarely people for me. Can't see any rhyme or reason. And then, at least when you accidentally
Oh shit! Right, give me a minute, lads. Discord
The-
just crashed. I do apologise.
threw me off completely.
Yeah,
When
carry
you
on.
accidentally get a refresh in Twitter, they happen so much more rarely, but at least you just have to scroll down to a point. But in Facebook, that's it. That post is gone.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
My boss was getting
awful.
so annoyed at that the other day. She was like, I tried to find something and she couldn't find it because it just wouldn't.
Yeah.
The main issues I'd have as a Twitter user, like, I do use that, like, I don't want to say Twitter site, but I do use like the standard Twitter timeline occasionally because I go on my phone and I'm not going to load TweetDeck up on my phone. And I don't know, I generally don't use chronological order, but I like that you can change your timeline from chronological to algorithm. But I would definitely say that the algorithm is generally okay. It's definitely got problems,
Right. Okay.
but it's okay. Like I would imagine in comparison to Facebook, right? Like,
Oh god.
I think I probably use Twitter by the most and follow the most people, etc.
Ooh.
So it definitely has.
Just gonna fix this. Carry on. It won't let me. It physically won't let me do the studio mode.
I love Alfie's webcam on the stream.
Yeah.
Everything about this is incredible.
But I can definitely say that in general it's alright. Sometimes I'm scrolling through and there's a tweet from someone that I don't follow. No one I follow follows, and it's there because they definitely didn't accidentally want to support it because it was paid for by anyone or something like that.
Mm.
But it's like that's like one in every 100 tweets, and it's like, well, at the end of the day, they got to make money.
Gosh. Yeah. No, I suppose so. Twitter
Fixed
and
it.
making money isn't exactly something that goes hand
It's
in
not
hand.
something that goes particularly well, actually. No.
Mm. It's nice. Definitely a good platform.
No, it is.
I just want to put on this the worst technical issues we've had apart from Charlie's stream crashing, and it's when
Oh.
Reese is here. So
I
Okay, I
fixed
mean,
my
yeah.
stream crashing issues, and that was because I was an idiot and didn't know about page files. But that's all fixed now.
I'm glad to hear
Reese
it.
is also the person that has an audio setup that, if he had this his mic plugged into a different XLR port, it could sound completely fine for
Right.
months, and then just suddenly become ear rape level static.
And you'd hear yourselves.
Oh, like
and
when
my
I-
sister.
And yeah,
Aw.
his system sound and me, it doesn't make much sense.
I can't wait to get a sound set up like a proper one.
Hmm. Tell you, I'm gonna have to have like a little mini server rack eventually. I think I'll look. Probably won't, but in my mind it.
No, I aim to get something like what both Alfie and Reese have here, a full interface. But
Mm.
that's like
Sounds
future,
nice.
future. Like, I haven't got shit audio. It's not the best, but
My audio setup is beyond my mic, and that's the main problem. But it's just not. It's not economically viable to upgrade. So there's just no point.
yeah.
My mic is
Also-
beyond the rest of my audio setup.
Yeah. Also, Charles,
Seems about-
is there someone at your door?
Hello, sweetie.
The fact that you still have that, how long after?
It's my favorite clip.
One we're keeping that too. We've absolutely got to use that in future to introduce guests to the podcast.
Okay.
I don't know why
Oh,
we've not.
yes.
This is
Yeah, okay.
podcast still in development, but
When we get Hazy
Very
Scorsese on,
much.
that's when we can do that.
we get who's So talk about. I cannot speak tonight. Talk
Nice.
more about us getting Hazy Scorsese on. Sounds like a.
Oh,
What's
hey,
going on?
actually, one I would like to get on, and I know for a fact he'll definitely want to come on, is Weekend Geek. He's got he's
Panda
really good
would if he
stream as
had
well.
the time.
yeah, they're both of them, but they both. Oh, I don't know about Panda, but I know Weekend Geek works in the day, so that's why he tends to stream at night. He's taking a week off streaming at the moment, so that's why he's currently not live.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think Panda's too busy shilling to Ubisoft most of his time.
Yeah.
So
But I love him.
Works
I
for
found
I mean,
this.
yeah.
I found yesterday on stream a
Doesn't he get to win
video,
nothing from it?
promotional video from The Crew 2 and Panda's in it from Ubisoft. I was like, I didn't know this
Yeah.
existed.
He was one of their star players, which is like an annually changing thing based off big influencers who played Ubisoft games. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Something like that.
Hmm.
But no, that was
Yeah,
insane.
that's
But
pretty
we can get. I would like to hear about his animations and where he gets his ideas from and how the channel started. Because currently has a record of 7.1 million views on his first Fallout animation.
Oh,
Pretty good.
that's, yeah, decent.
40k subs on YouTube at the moment. They're
Mm.
just starting up on Twitch. I recommend you check him out. Same for Panda. Panda has like 12 subs, but he's getting started out on YouTube. Oh, on Twitch, sorry.
He's got 12 subs on YouTube.
Yeah, he's doing insane. Honestly, he's hitting the top levels. And I can't move my arms because of those 50 push-ups yesterday. I'm in so much pain today.
You
It's
say
ridiculous.
50 push-ups, so let's go over this. For
Okay,
the,
so I did
Oh.
10,
the
20,
one person
10,
in the chat
10.
who's here. 50, not exactly push-ups, all of varying levels of awfulness that took over an hour to complete in all.
Yep. I'm a weak boy and I'm in a lot of pain because of it.
Yeah, this next challenge that we set is definitely going to have to be something.
Squats I can do, sit-ups I can do. So
But that's the thing, so we need to get your arm strength.
no, okay. Next challenge is going to
What do you
be.
mean? No, we clearly do.
Well, we still need to do this 24-hour stream as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll do it
God.
then.
Just bring back an old
Oh,
challenge
fine.
classic. Just force him to eat cinnamon.
Yeah.
Force him to eat cinnamon. Not.
We'll do all the challenges at once. We'll dunk cold water on him whilst he's eating cinnamon,
Move your head.
whilst he's spinning a pencil on a
I-
bit of paper.
I think that was copyrighted for the latest content.
Why? Oh, yes.
Yep. Wait for it to process.
Yes, I haven't seen the video yet,
Yeah.
but I know from Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Hang
It's
on.
something. It's basically Tom Scott doing every food challenge from like the past 10 years in one
Oh.
go. It's something.
I don't want to see it because that's not sort of something I'm into.
He's got a weight advantage.
He does.
It's weird to see how different he is now from.
Mm.
He has grown as a human in general, like as a
Yeah,
person.
he has.
As a
It's grown quite
person.
lot.
But no. I just. Anybody else got anything you want to talk about? Otherwise, we'll go on to Evan's topic.
That was just
Nothing
such a
on, like-
sudden cut out of anything.
It was flawless.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm beautiful at this.
But no, there's nothing I think I think we've pretty much covered editing on stuff like I don't know.
It went more than 10
just-
minutes. That surprised me.
If it's I think the summary is if editing is done,
It
it
needs
has to be
right.
done right.
Exactly, yeah.
It cannot just be the ability to edit stuff. Because imagine if Twitter was Twitter exactly as it is
God.
now, you could edit stuff with no record. Like
Yeah,
you
that would
retweet
be...
something and then you look back and it would just be hardcore porn, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
because it would have just been like a cute joke and someone's just gone and edited it to be that. I'm
Mm.
sorry, that's just the reality. It would be.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true.
Definitely the platform a lot more exciting in a risk form, in a risky way.
When
It's
we
like,
getting,
oh, what's this retweet gonna be? Oh, it's hardcore porn. Okay.
when we getting a Fortnite social media?
That's true.
How's
The
that going
thing-
to work? You have to like repeatedly build bridges to people to talk to them.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's so much going in Fortnite. Like they've done music
It's
shows.
perfect.
They've been showing movies in Fortnite.
Yeah,
It's literally ridiculous what's going on in there.
It's a good game.
insane though. Good.
pretty damn dope.
The thing is with the thing with Fortnite is I have the exact same stance as Panda Fury. It's a good game. I like the graphics on it. Like it's got a cool style. The gunplay's really good. It's just the building. If they had a mode where you just no building, so much better.
Mm.
I know.
But then
I mean, the
that's what
building's-
makes Fortnite. So
Yeah, I think the building is like part of it.
yeah, no, it is. That's
Helps
just
the
the
skill cap as well because the guns are really RNG.
I'd say my only thing would be, and to be fair, it's because I never really put the time into the game to learn it. I could build things, but you see the people who win their games, and most of the time they've built a tower and killed like 3 people in the space of half a second.
yeah.
That's not something I'd want to like learn how to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, yeah, it's that kind of goes into the next topic that Evan brought up, which would be what do you guys think it would be? What do you guys think the next game type, next game type would be? So the most recent one I can think of would be Battle Royale. I can't remember. I want to say Fortnite started that, but I can't actually remember the actual game that did. If it
PUBG?
wasn't PUBG,
It
that's
was
the
the one
thing.
that popularized it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Something that started it.
Because this is the thing people didn't realize. Fortnite was meant to be a
Minecraft
co-op
Hunger
builder
Games
game.
started it.
Fortnite was meant to be a co-op building game, like
No,
against
it's
zombies.
PvE.
Yeah, and then the Fortnite, the whole Battle Royale came out, and they just moved over to that, and that became much more popular than the co-op game they were making, or the co-op bit. And then they've just more or less kept going on that. I think they're still working on the co-op bit. I haven't played the game, so I don't know.
Yeah,
But
they're
that's
really
that's
sure.
how it started, and that was their main intent when it originally came out.
To be fair,
So,
H1Z1 was originally, I'm gonna can look stupid now. A zombie survival game that then had a battle
Okay,
royale, is
so
that right?
I bought it when it was one game, and it was a survival game that was
That was
trying
it.
to
Yeah, it's split
compete
into
with.
multiple games.
Yeah, it was one game at the time, and it was trying to compete with DayZ, but it also had a
Both
battle
of which were
royale
awful.
with it.
Mm.
Then they separated the game. I want to add this, by the way. They sold the game singly before for £16. Then they separated it and sold both of the games for £16. I saved 16 quid doing that, and then they made it free to play.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was that was actually a decent game and got quite popular. If it wasn't, I think the hackers is what caused that game to have a downfall.
Ah, yes. Is this Escape from Tarkov?
I know. But the H1 Series 1, they had a huge hacker issue, and I think a lot of people were expecting more because it was from the developers of Planet Side 2, if I'm not wrong, or maybe a team.
Really?
I want to say that because I remember hearing stuff like that. Give me a minute.
Yeah, have a look. But yeah, I never heard anything like that. Doesn't mean it's not true, but that would just surprise me.
So
Planet Side
it's
2's
developers
superior
Daybreak.
in every. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so Planet Side 2, same developer.
Hmm.
They've also
Same
done
studio.
DC Universal Online, EverQuest 2.
Hmm.
It uses the Forge Light engine because it's the same engine as Planet Side 2. But yeah, people were like, "Oh, it should be better." People had better sort of anticipation, and I would say, in my opinion, from what I know, especially back in those days, that's the game that Dr. Disrespect got big off. Because that's
Really?
what I remember.
Hmm.
He used to play that game, and he got massive from that, if I'm not wrong.
Enough. I've never really been a big viewer of his. Then I was never a big streamer.
By the way, this is the email from Floatpen. I'm just going to read it in brief. Saying, thank you so much for reaching out. Our inbox is exploding about that, and we're overwhelmed to see the positive response to our announcement. But because we are focused on helping creators reach their goals, we are prioritizing giving the best advice we can, and not signing up every creator we get in touch with. Once that relationship is built, it makes sense to start working on monetization strategies and diversification. No, that's not the word. Anyway, monetization strategies, which we hope will include float playing. For that reason, unfortunately, we have to say that our service might not be the right fit yet. But our capabilities grow. That will probably change. So make sure you're keeping up with us on Twitter and Facebook. All the thanks, Danzy. Sorry.
I want to point out it was definitely written in plain English.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Not
just
the best.
the reader there.
I'm just dyslexic. But yeah, no. So Battle Royale was like the most recent fad I can think of when it comes to game modes. Before that, I want to say arena shooters, but like that's from my perspective.
That being said, yeah, we do have that. What was it? The one that was sent in the jungle. With the
Survival?
drone. I guess that was a battle royale as well.
Oh, what
it
are you
was
thinking
arenas.
of? The Cullen?
Yeah, I am. When did that come out?
That game, I loved that game, and I'm so annoyed it went down so far. And the fact that I don't know if they actually brought it back with that stupid monetization system. But what were they thinking?
I have no clue what system you're on about.
Okay, so I don't know if it was true or not, but the Colin died. They brought out a new one that died literally weeks out of being released.
Right.
It went dead. It was dead forever, and then they randomly came back and said, "Okay, so what we're gonna do is you pay for your life. So you pay like £1 and you get one life. If you die, you pay £1 to get another life."
All right.
But it's a free-to-play game.
I don't remember that, but that sounds awful.
It literally, like, they said that, and then it just took it went deeper. It just went deeper into hell. Honestly, but it was a good game when it came out. Honestly,
It was alright.
I remember a good. This is going back a long time. I just remembered. I bought the Cullen. Salone Witch Ethan was going to buy it. And he couldn't because his dad saw the trailer, saw the chainsaw cut someone in half, and said, "You can't have that."
Wow. God, he'd have not liked
That was years ago.
Gears of War, that was it. And I
Here we
think
go.
the last big thing. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
Oh no, carry on. I'm just reading the article on what they Cullen did.
Okay, I think the last big thing that I can remember would have been a few years before Battle Royale. Would have been Zombie Survival.
Yeah, that was a big thing for a while.
Hmm.
I will admit, I never really understood why,
No.
but it there was a very diehard fan base of like DayZ and that. And it was like
Hmm.
it's kind of weird to me.
Left 4
But
Dead's
I mean,
like
people
that.
enjoyed it, so fair enough.
Some of them are.
But Left 4 Dead is nothing like any of those games.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
wouldn't
Left
call
4 Dead's
it.
good.
I guess I'd call it a survival in the same way that any other FPS is a
Yeah,
survival.
it's a survival in the same way that like Overwatch is a survival. It's that you can die, and if you do things, you might not die.
What?
But
You
it's
don't
not really-
die in Overwatch, Alfie? That
Oh, I'm
would
sorry.
change their ratings. That would
That's
be
true.
madness.
So I found the exact thing they did. I don't know if they went through with it. I don't know if it's out at the moment, like currently being available to play.
Right.
Because from what I saw, it was being absolutely ridiculed for this. So,
Hmm.
So what they did is after it died, they brought it back with a £5 USD pay price to buy the game.
Right.
But what they
Right.
did was every day you got one free game, and then after that game, you could buy packs of tokens. Those tokens started at £1 for 3 match tokens and £5 for 20,
Ooh.
which is quite literally a pay-to-play game.
Yeah.
Unless you're willing to play it one day, like one game a day.
I ain't a big fan of a lot of stuff like in-game currencies and such, because it's generally done in a predatory way.
Yeah.
But I mean, they didn't even try with that. Like, do they expect that to work and make them money? Like, that's never going to have worked. Like, what?
No, I know that. Like, genuinely, it died because the Cullen 2 was shit. If I'm not wrong, I don't know if the company went down, but the servers had to go down for monetary reasons. They just didn't have enough money, so the Cullen 1 went down. So maybe this was them trying to make money because they just weren't. They just weren't making sales. Apparently, the game had a big hype. A lot of people bought the game, and then the people buying the game probably just dropped, and they just weren't making enough sales. The Cullen 2 literally died within a week, if I'm not wrong. To the point where I feel like it didn't even get released actually. And yeah, then they brought the Cullen back with that stupid monetary system. But that was I liked that game.
That is bizarre.
But like going back onto the subject, that subject, I don't know what would come after it, but I feel like the big fad that I can think of, and unfortunately I wasn't around when this happened, at least gaming wise, would have been arcade shooters with Modern Warfare, because then that became massive. Like Modern Warfare, then Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 and all that, all arcade shooters. Like all games were arcade shooters. It's only like in the last 5 years I would have said simulators and like simulator shooters and all that have come like back to PC gaming in a big way.
Right.
But no, like back in like 2010, whenever Modern Warfare came out, for like a good 2-3 years, all games really focused on trying to be arcade shooters, at least that genre. That was a big fad. Obviously, you can't say for the whole year this is the one game mode that was over the world, because there's hundreds of game modes.
I mean, there's definitely fads that you get where each year games are more popular.
Oh, Battle Royale, and then free to play. I would have said
think-
once that actually. Then
I think that recently I kind of hate Steam with a passion
Right.
I don't think you've ever
Because
said that on
Steam's
the
shit.
stream before.
for a whole host of reasons. But Steam has so much rampant shit on the platform, right? And I do not have a problem with someone that's new to game dev making a mediocre at best game. That's fine. But it's the asset flips and just the templates they've downloaded in Unity and replaced some textures that are just littering Steam that absolutely ruin discovery of small indie games that are priced quite cheap because they're made by one person. It's like their first ever game. And I feel like now it's hard to even know like what games the game dev community are interested in making, because the only real games I hear about are indie games that go big or AAA titles.
Yeah.
And Steam, I think, is a major contributor to that culture.
If we're going to talk about that, can we talk about Steam Greenlight?
Oh God.
Is that
Oh,
still
What
a
about Steam
thing?
Greenlight?
No, it's not.
Oh god, no, it's not been a thing for many
Oh
years
wow,
now.
no, yeah, because it was so bombarded with shit. And if I'm not wrong, wasn't there controversy like you could pay to get your game high up on the list or like through Greenlight?
I don't know. I know you can also like now just anyone can pay
Possibly.
to have their game on Steam
Yeah.
as long and Steam won't touch it as long as it doesn't violate laws. And the other one
They
other
basically
stupid
just
thing
don't
that they
do
said.
anything.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to point out, by the way, when I say shit games littering Steam that are just asset flips, that includes FIFA, F1, NBA, all of those games. They're
Okay.
all just the same thing on repeat. Like, there is literally no difference between FIFA 2019 and FIFA 2020.
Yeah.
Like, I count those in the same category.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's the fucking. What is it? Oh, speaking of shitty reflips, like the current NBA game.
NBA.
Fucking- I can't remember what it's
What
called.
the NBA 2K19 or 2K20?
Oh god, one of the two. I think it was the last generation one. They fucking are trying to push it again. I think they ported it to Switch or some shit.
That has one of the worst cases of bad
yeah.
monetization
That was
for
it.
games.
Yeah, they changed their pay model on the next gen consoles, so it's a bit more expensive, but it still had all the predatory as shit, gambling and loot box shit.
Wait, are you talking about the new generation, like PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X NBA? Because there's rumors that that one's going to be sold at £80 or £70.
It might be that.
That's something.
I read it like 2 weeks
Which people are like, oh, that's like all games are going to be like that for next generation. They're just going to be upped price. It depends on the game. I can understand that because a lot of hours. This is the thing that really pissed me off with people reviewing. Like, okay, I can understand it's opinions and it is just a game, but The Last of Us 2 got awful reviews. People do forget hundreds of thousands of hours went into that. Not in just storytelling, but like animating, making the game itself. It is a shit game, but you have to be. You do like watching
So,
watching
okay.
videos. It's got so many bugs in it. I feel like it was rushed because of the leak, or they did something. They changed something with the game
Okay.
because of the leak.
Okay. I can answer all these questions. I have not played The Last of Us 2, but I have seen a lot of content on it.
Go back
the
to this
controversy
conversation now.
that's come up around it.
Mhm.
And all I have to say about it, The Last of Us 2, from what I've seen, is not that great a game. It is by no means a masterpiece, but it's also not a bad game. It's just fine.
Yeah.
It's a bit long in places. There's distance between story that people find quite boring from what I've heard. The story itself also has issues from what I've heard, and it's just generally the thing. There are some very upsetting plot points in that story. That's just gamers being piss babies and not liking stories having turns in them that they don't like, right?
God. Right.
The
In
first
general, the
5
story
minutes.
isn't great from what I hear, right? But just because there's something that's upsetting doesn't make it inherently a bad story point. That's not how writing works.
I just want to say by the way
And
as
then
well.
in terms of the bugs, it's because they were forced to crunch for months making the game, and the game shouldn't be out for at least another year.
I know.
I'm just saying it.
As I said on another podcast, I truly believe they should have just delayed it to the PlayStation 5, made it an amazing game
I
with
think
that sort of.
I think that's what Cyberpunk 2077 is going to do. I'm
Yeah.
still expecting another delay on Cyberpunk.
I hope it is because have you?
I hope so.
I saw a video. Someone compared the trailer from 2018 with the same trailer from 2020, and Jesus Christ, the difference! It's bloody. It's insane.
Bloody.
But like I don't know if I asked it before. And I really should do my research on it to be. But does anybody know if the script that got leaked is the same story as the
I don't know
full
because
release?
I didn't look at it.
Okay, because did they change it? Maybe that's why it's a bit.
I don't know. Didn't hear about any
Yeah.
leaks until
Oh, no,
you
someone-
told the
someone-
whole
story leaked.
Yeah,
at
the
some
whole
point,
story
like, a
leaked.
couple of years back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was this I will need to fact check on. Warning, fact check, Google it. I've possibly heard rumors that it was leaked by a disgruntled employee that left because of crunch and shit work ethic.
Right.
So they leaked the whole story to the internet and then fucked off. But I may be completely wrong on that. If that is them, I love you. That's amazing. Thank you. But
Mm.
yeah, honestly, like Cyberpunk is also a game that's forcing its developers to crunch. And it fucking pisses me off because I hate how fucking stupid and pathetic gamers are. They're like fucking 4 years old in maturity. All the replies that are like, like, well, okay. How about they fucking delay it a year, pay their fucking employees properly, stop making them to work shitty overtime and shitty deals, and actually be a good company. I don't give a shit if the Cyberpunk 27 comes out this fucking year. I would rather the employees were fucking happy.
Yeah. I just got a little
The
fact
game
check.
is a petty.
The a little fact checked update.
So
It
apparently
seems that Sony confirmed it wasn't an ex or current employee who
Yeah.
leaked it. Would have been great if it was.
I literally clicked on that same post as you did, or like a post saying it wasn't.
You don't know what post I'm on.
Just saying.
Like the thing is, I wasn't really that excited in Cyberpunk when I first saw it, but
I'm still not. Like it.
I'm not
It
excited
sounds
at all
cool,
for it.
but
I'm not excited. It's one of those games I'll pick up and play because
yeah.
it does look like a lot of fun. And to be honest,
I
that developer
still
have
don't
made
know
really
what
good
it
games.
is. Like I know
Well, that's the
Keanu
big
Reeves
problem.
beating people up driving. So what is it going to be? Open
It's-
world? Is it GTA? What is
it's
it?
an open world
Witcher.
action adventure RPG
Oh, I guess
with
yeah,
a
it's by the same
storyline,
company. Okay,
right?
right.
And here's the complicated thing for me. I think from what we've seen, it's going to be pretty open world, like pretty large
Yeah.
map, pretty flexible. I think that's going to be its downfall. Because I
Ooh,
think you're
okay.
going to be driving around this amazingly created world. Because all the video and stuff we've seen, especially recently, has really shown that the game is pretty.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be driving around, and you're going to see like a hairdresser's, and you're going to be like, do you know what? This is Cyberpunk 2077. I just want to be a cyberpunk hairdresser in my RPG. That's not going to be doable, and I think it's going to be a problem because I think they've gone for something that's such an ambitious project that
Right.
unless they actually got it to the point where you could literally, like, it was role playing to the point where you could do nearly fucking anything.
I think that's what they're.
I think it's going to fail.
I think as
Not
it's,
fail. It's going to be not what people are hoping for.
Yeah, I think it's kind of related to what you're saying, but kind of not. Is like their scope and what they're saying. It's not what they're actually saying and promising, but it's what people are taking it as. Is what's making people. Is what's going to make
Yeah,
people
that's true.
disappointed. They're not saying, "Oh, this game you can do literally anything." It's just it looks like you can. And the fact that it's been delayed so many times and it's got a huge scope. It does look good. Though my biggest worry though is they're going to go for too linear of a story path. Because for a game of
I
that
think the
sort
main
of style,
story will be pretty linear.
but for a game like that, it won't work personally. Again, like the Witcher series is one of the best, I would say, series.
Which is great.
And that developer haven't really made a bad game, to be completely honest. But that's because they've stuck with. Well, for one, The Witch is a book, so they had reference. But then again, Cyberpunk is basically a mix of bloody what's it called? Blade Runner and a whole bunch of other 80s movies set in a cyberpunk world. It does look good though, and I do hope it does well. You hope you can be a real estate agent, mate. Imagine. It would be cool if you could have separate tasks or like jobs in that game.
Well, okay, so having not followed like
Yeah,
anything apart from seeing screenshots, where is this talk? Have they said something about you'll be able to take up
no,
certain
they
jobs?
haven't actually said that much about the gameplay.
Right, okay.
be
It's just
entirely-
because you both
they've
had
shown a
like
lot of
oddly specific
footage.
examples with hairdressers and
They've got a lot of footage about it of trailers in the city and
Yeah.
screenshots of shit.
I think I was recommended
Right.
a gameplay video, I just didn't.
And basically, what we know that is your generic. You'd expect it in an RPG. You can drive a car, you have guns, shoot things, like all the stuff you'd expect. And
Yeah.
we know that it's open world, it's action adventure, and that there's a story resolving around the implant. I can't remember what it's called. There's an implant that I think is like, because if I understand it right, not everyone is a cyberpunk. When you are a cyberpunk, you're basically a cyborg. You've modified yourself with cyber equipment, right?
Yeah.
That is a cyberpunk. Then from that you get onto there's an implant that I think makes you immortal, and that's the main story. But other than that, they've pretty much said nothing of what like the side quests are going to be, how detailed they are. There have been a lot of people saying they want it to be really customizable, and basically you can do whatever you want and shit. They have said that the city is vast and that it's detailed and that you can shape the story. How much that'll actually end up in realism is every RPG says you can shape the story.
Watching gameplay, it looks a lot like what Ubisoft did with the first Watch Dogs. Like, here's this huge world you can hack and do literally anything in, and then the game came out and none of that happened.
I definitely think it's ironic that, like, it has 200 awards now, I think.
It's not even out.
And granted, some of those awards have come since they gave it, they gave out the review editions to people and such, the early builds that are, you know, reviewable enough that they were happy to give them to people. But loads of them came before that, and it's like, fuck off. Like,
the one thing
it's just not realistic, is it?
Yeah.
You can't review something as the best RPG in the West before it's even fucking released.
Or
even playable. Like,
one of the things that worried me in early gameplay is the driving looked really shit, but looking at this new gameplay, it doesn't look half bad. It's the first-person game this company's made.
Right.
But as that, it does look decent. Again, I'm just worried that in these trailers they're showing so much. It's like, oh look, you can do literally anything, and then in the game it's going to be either very linear or very limiting. It is, so it's not just in a city. There is outback bits where you're out in like a desert. So it is a vast. I don't know how big. I don't know if there's confirmation of how big the world is, relative to other games, because that's how developers like to compare, like media outlets like to compare games these days. Is, or it's not as big as San Andreas, but it's just bigger than Far Cry 2. But I'll see if there is. I'll quickly have a look. I don't know. I hope it does well. It looks like a fun game, and if it is, then I'll give it a go. I've been playing Red Dead 2 recently and having a lot of fun with that. Surprised it runs on my PC.
Be a good game, right? Because I think a game that's taken this long, it's going to have enough detail into it that it's going to at least minimum be like slightly above okay good.
Does anybody know when it was first announced?
What, Cyberpunk?
Yeah. Because I remember it at E3, and I specifically remember it as well. So I was like, what is this?
2016?
Nope.
It can't have been, I don't know.
2012.
That's when I started hearing about it. Jesus Christ.
It was first announced at E3 at 2012, and that was literally a small trailer. With, if I'm not wrong, any of the assets, it was just more of a concept.
Bloody hell.
It was a very, very hyped, even from day one as well, it was hyped to hell, and then I think it just, like, everybody forgot about it because nobody spoke about it for 4 years, and then 2016 it came back. And
saying that, I think there are some good RPGs out there that, I don't know, it depends, because I think the problem with RPGs they often suffer is a lot of people want different things from RPGs. Some people want a really enriching world, some people want a really enriching story, some people want customization and the ability to do anything. And it's very hard for a game studio to get all of those nailed down. Like, I think the Elder Scrolls has always had a good amount of lore and interesting worlds to explore that's made it more interesting than the actual quests being that exciting. Whereas, like, if I've been rewatching a series on YouTube at the moment for Kingdom Come Deliverance, and that game, man, is so fucking detailed. Like,
oh, that was an indie game, isn't it?
And shit, it's just fucking, it's so detailed. It's really damn good. And like the actual like depth of like the questing and shit is really quite nice. It's actually based around like every single quest makes sense for like the relationship your character has with said character that you do the quest for, and it's a lot more, the quests and like that the world, it just feels more natural and actually real than other RPGs I've played or watched.
That's the one thing they have to be careful with, because it's a AAA game. It's going to the masses, so they don't want to make it as complicated as Kingdom Come, because people are going to get confused and not know what to do. But they don't want to make it as simple as Call of Duty, where you press F to pay respects. So they kind of have to mix between. to make a game that, you know, has enough depth in it but doesn't scare the average person away, but also keeps the hardcore fans intrigued. And you know, it being in I don't know if it was developed since 2012 or if it was just a concept back then, but if it's had 8 years of development, it's going to clearly have, hopefully, a lot of detail to it, especially with quests and mini quests, and all that. Apparently, by the way, looking at some research, these are just rough numbers because obviously nobody knows the exact number, but it's going to be estimated around 80 gigabytes.
But to be fair,
That's not even that big.
Quite small.
Yeah.
I mean,
Red Dead 2 is 112.
it's lower than I thought by modern standards.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that
Still,
number's going to go up
to
if it
be
goes to
fair,
next gen.
To be fair, like, you don't need that many gigabytes to add a lot of side quests and such.
Oh no,
Necessarily.
side quest is tiny.
So that's not necessarily meaning that the game is not going to be that. But I would fully not be surprised if they'd come out and said it would be 200 gig. Wouldn't necessarily like that. I mean, not that it's necessarily their fault, but you know, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's. I'm interested to see how it goes. I hope it does well. If it doesn't, I'm not going to buy it. If it does, I might.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm definitely not pre-ordering it.
I'm not going to pre-order it like
No.
you've made me do with 2 games now. And when GTA was coming out, you were like, you pre-ordered it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that too. And then when Just Cause 3 was coming out, you were like, I'm going to pre-order it. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do that too. And I couldn't run it for 4 years because my PC wasn't powerful enough.
I literally don't even own Just Cause 3.
Who else was it then? It must have been someone else.
I think I own
But someone else
two.
was like, oh, I'm going to pre-order for Just Cause 3. It's like, you know what, I'm going to do that too.
Just Cause 3 is £1.79 at
What?
the moment.
That's the
a
thing.
bargain.
That's the thing I don't like about Just Cause.
That
Is
has been free.
Just Cause 2 was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Just
I'm gonna
Cause-
have it for free because the thing is
Yeah.
good.
Just Cause 3 came out years later and was a decent game, and then they've literally just made games every other year. And I don't think they're that good, personally. Just Cause 4, Just Cause 5 aren't the best. They've kind of gone the Ubisoft
Right.
copy-paste route.
Could you repeat what you last said? Because
Is there Just Cause 5? I don't
That's
know.
what I was just wondering. Like, not that I know of.
There's no.
Okay, Just Cause 4 then.
No, 4's the latest.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of Just Cause 4 because it feels like a copy-paste of 3. Just with added features in a different map.
Just Cause 4 was more just a sandbox.
Yeah.
In my
I've
opinion.
never
Take a
played
shot.
either. So, whilst looking at Just Cause quickly, I was
Stop pointing him
ended
out.
up on the Just Cause fandom wiki, and the background pictures have all been edited so that Rico is wearing a face mask drawn on in Paint.net.
Oh my
And
god.
it's incredible. God. I love that.
So it's actually since we spoke about Cyberpunk, is there any game people are excited for?
No, and I'll say that for like the last 5 years of
Okay.
game releases.
Are there any games people are interested in?
Guess Kerbal Space
Coming out
Program
soon.
2?
Oh,
But-
that's actually a good
Ooh.
one.
Microsoft Flight Sim.
And
Yeah.
that? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Sim, if it
I guess I don't think of it 'cause it's not really. I don't really consider it a game in
no,
that sense.
but it does. It's looking really good at the moment.
That'll be amazing. I think. Yeah,
Hope it's not too expensive for a subscription system.
it will be expensive.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be horrendous.
Okay, I don't mind if it's expensive. I just hope it's not a subscription system, because then that would be the
It'll
downfall.
probably be expensive modules like before,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
I was seeing
But that's looking good.
of people saying it will be you'll have
Oh,
your base map and you'll have like X amount of airports, and then as they add airports you buy them as DLC.
yeah.
No, I don't think it will,
That's-
because at the moment they're using Bing Maps, aren't they, to make the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would have presumed by that time they would have had at least the majority of the world done.
I think that you'll be able to.
My biggest-
You'll possibly be able to fly the whole planet, but there would be a limited number of spots you can land at.
Yeah.
But with DLC, you'll
I-
get planes and detailed areas where you can land in. more
That's my
locations
biggest
and
worry at the
such.
moment, is the only gameplay they've shown is small Cessnas, small individual flyers. I don't know if they've I don't know if they've confirmed if they're going to add like commercial airlines and all that.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. Gonna see what I can
But like
If-
it's
if-
like the volumetric like the weather system in the game looks unreal. It looks insane. The thing is, no matter what they do with it, it's a new Microsoft Flight Simulator. The fact that everybody likes Microsoft, like the fact if it's going to be anything like the old one, just much better graphics, it's going to be just amazing.
Yes.
A hell of an
Yeah, it's
experience.
going to be pretty damn awesome.
I would just like
is-
to ask
Hmm.
if that's how you refer to a whatever it was you said, small Cessna.
A
How
single
would you
flyer.
refer to an A380?
And so yeah, I'm seeing
dunno.
pictures of exactly that.
Okay, I haven't seen any like commercial flights. I haven't looked at it.
No, I'm not
recently.
saying. I just want to know what your terminology for an A380 sized plane is.
I think I have seen
like
screenshots
4
of
or
an
5
A380
people maybe.
in the meantime.
Sure,
Well,
sure.
What was the other game you mentioned? The Microsoft Flight Simulator and
I
I
said
don't know,
Kirby.
but
Kerbal Space Program. That was it. Kerbal Space Program 2 looks really good.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So
No.
the trailer,
I don't have my hopes high up for anything related to KSP.
the trailer, the space looks good. The actual aircraft, not so much. Or
Yeah,
rockets.
it's one of the. I'll see when it comes out. I'll probably get it on sale either way, but. I
To
don't
be
even
honest,
know
they
if
did
I'll
make
buy
a hell of a trailer. That trailer's really good, in my opinion.
it.
The announcement
I
trailer.
mean, yeah, the trailer was good as a piece of media.
Yeah.
Whether it
Yeah.
showed me that the game was going to be good, not that much.
But we'll have to wait and see for that one.
If you want to see some real good trailers, the Satisfactory Update 3 trailer is probably one of my favorite trailers ever made for a small game.
Oh, Satisfactory! I love that game. I need to play it more. Hey Alfie, when's
Yeah.
the server coming up?
They released when they released dedicated servers, like literally. Um, but no, yeah, they actually released sales figures for Epic Store versus Steam Store,
Yeah.
Right.
and I
Oh, is
can't
this where all
remember
these
the
numbers coming
figures
from?
off my head. But if Steam continues at the current projections, it will surpass the sales they have on Epic in a few months' time, total.
Okay.
Which shows you just how big a market Steam is.
Yeah.
It's insane. But at the same time, I think that's a shame because you could go buy the game on Epic right now and give more money,
Mm.
and you should definitely
Yeah.
do that. 'Cause it's a small studio, and they
Mm.
made a really fucking awesome game.
I
You should
it's
definitely
insane.
buy the game on Epic. Please
Yes.
buy the game on Epic.
I might have to play it tonight. The thing is, that's the problem.
Your game's epic.
Is now that I'm playing multiple games, I'm like, what do I play? Do I play Hunt? Do I play Red Dead? Do I play Satisfactory? Do
I have
play-
been thinking about playing Red Dead on stream.
Do you
didn't
have
play
Red
for
Dead,
it.
by the way? Because it tells me you don't.
Yes. On what?
What do you have
I
it
didn't, buy,
on?
I didn't buy it on Steam. I bought it. I pre-ordered the game.
Oh,
for
so you have it on
PC
Rockstar?
For some reason, I don't know why I did that because it came out on PC and it ran like 4 FPS, like maybe occasionally on a certain specific drive that you have to pay £400 to fucking Rockstar North to get. You know,
Mm.
Yeah,
it was there,
I've
but
been
I haven't
getting.
touched it because I launched the game. It was like I'm glad that I've got a £1,000 computer here that can run this fucking game that I paid 8 billion quid for at like 10 FPS on the lowest setting. Wasn't that bad, but yeah. I haven't
Yeah,
played it yet.
I'm surprised how well I can run it now, but
I imagine it'll be better now.
it's much better. I can run it at high 60, so we'll be able to run it, I'm sure.
I
It
tell
was
you
just
one
really bad
game-
when it released.
Yeah, that's
Say
that's
one
Rockstar in a
thing,
nutshell, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karen Reese.
Yeah, one game that I am excited to see come out: Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, actually, that does look quite cool.
I
They're-
will
they're
have to
rec-
wait and see.
Their recent ones have been doing well. Odyssey and
mean-
I can't remember the most recent one.
Yeah, for me, it's just I struggle to play single player games anymore. I just
Yeah,
don't
same.
enjoy myself.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know whether it's a depression. I mean, it's probably partly a depression thing, but also just I know I prefer spending time with people and friends. I just kind of
Right.
don't vibe with like I own Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the season. I own all the DLC and the season pass or whatever. I bought the most expensive fucking thingamabob. I literally haven't even launched it.
Boom.
The
Because I
Assassin's Creed
just
does have
can't
a
be
good
arsed.
multiplayer, so
And it's like one of the best Assassin's Creed games in a long time.
yeah, I hope
Oh, yeah.
Valhalla does well as well because that does look promising. They haven't done that before, Vikings, so it's going to be quite brutal.
Oh yeah.
Potentially set in lower.
Historians are having
Written
a
on.
field trip right now.
I know. Shut up. But what topic are we talking about? Just talking about games that are being released that we're looking forward to or excited about. But you know, I know what you mean. Like I'm kind of disappointed because I really wanted. I bought Red Dead on PlayStation a couple of weeks after it came out, or maybe a week after it came out, and I was really excited to play it. But I just couldn't find myself enjoying the single player. It's not a bad single player. It's just I don't have the sort of either time or just the imagination I used to when I played Red Dead Redemption 1. That had a great story mode. But I think it's because I was younger. I could get lost in the story more. You know, I had more of an imaginative mind. As you know,
I mean,
what happens.
as someone that played through and completed Red Dead with my dad on console, it was one of those games, original Red Dead 1, Redemption 1. It's a game that is important to me, and as much as I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is an achievement to the detail that you can put into a game, in terms of like, as much as it has issues, you know, the mud compressing and you picking items up individually and simple things like that, it's an impressive piece of work. But Red Dead Redemption 1 is the better game, and I'm just saying it.
I will.
Red Dead Redemption 1 is a stunning game, and it's got a great story and a great world, and it's fun to play, and it's just a really good game. RDR 2 is more of a cool experience than it is a good game.
The multiplayer is quite good. Honestly,
it's a Rockstar multiplayer, so I wouldn't touch it.
I've been playing multiplayer more than anything, and I've been enjoying it because Cask has it. So, but the one thing I wanted to say about Red Dead 1 was, oh no, so one thing about Red Dead 1, but I'm going to just talk about Red Dead 2 because you mentioned it. They overcomplicated the game. The fact that you have to go in houses and open up drawers one by one to get one item, I feel like just slows down the pace completely. Even in multiplayer, there's no need for that. To walk up to a set of drawers and go, 1, 2,
I get why they
3.
did it for the
Close
story.
3, there's 2. Yeah, I can understand it for a story because there's some missions where you have to go through a house and find a certain item in a certain place. Or I don't know if they're randomly generated, but
it's meant to be a realism
experience
aspect, right?
Yeah.
And I get why they did that, but I don't know. It's again, that's why I see it more as like a cinematic experience than I do a game. Just that you're at the hands of, and the controls are really complicated and awkward to do, or can be in certain situations. And like, I would never touch the multiplayer because it's a Rockstar multiplayer. What am I going to do? Go ride my horse into the brand new casino that's popped up? Oh wow, what am I going to do? Spend my gold bars in the casino? Oh whoops, I'm out of money. Oh, I'm going to go buy a fucking,
actually,
what is it? A shark cowboy card.
You saying that?
To go buy it. Like,
you saying that? When I was playing, I don't know how many hours you need into it, but I went to do bounties because I was like, that's a good way to make money, and it's a fun bit of the game. You know, going hunting bad guys, taking them to jail, dead or alive. Just a fun part of the Red Dead. You need 15 gold to just buy a bounty license. I put about 4 hours into the multiplayer now, and I've only got 1.15 gold. So that's a lot of playtime to get just a bounty license. Or you can buy the gold for real money. I don't know how much that converts to. I'm going to do my research and find out.
It won't be good.
But there's something I did want to say is Rockstar did make a good multiplayer game. The first Red Dead, in my opinion, had one of the best
Red Dead multiplayer.
Yes.
It was my favorite ever Rockstar multiplayer. Honestly,
And
Red Dead
this
1
is
my favorite Rockstar game.
And this is the one thing people don't realize: the Red Dead multiplayer is amazing because remember GTA 4 multiplayer, the same game that came out around that time? That was a shit multiplayer.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It was very, very limited.
Said.
It wasn't open world. You could only go into a map with like 4 friends or something like that, 16 I think at max. Well, Red Dead was this big open world game. It's what GTA 5 was at the time, but we didn't know what GTA 5 would be because GTA 4 was very limited when it came to multiplayer. It was basically a co-op at the time, I would have said. GTA 4 multiplayer. It was very limiting. Yes, we do have webcams, Corporal, but yeah, Red Dead, I have so many fond memories. I don't know if you remember any of these, Alfie. I'm going to give it a go because I want to see if you remember. Do you remember Red Dead much?
Jesus.
You might, because it was a very...
decent amount of it, yeah.
Okay, so do you remember the little base in a cavern that on multiplayer you would always go to with a group of friends or like a group of people and defend it because it only had one way in and one way out?
Yes,
it was like it was like this big... It was a mining shaft, if I'm not wrong, but it was a huge area that was... It was
like
just...
a long cavernous sort of...
Yeah, and there was only one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of my favourites.
I don't know. I would have remembered the names years ago, but
I can't remember the names. Right, let's look at Red Dead.
I really liked the original Red Dead Redemption 1.
It was great, and it had a great story.
The single player, the multiplayer, like, I had just good times playing that game. Like, it's just a really solid, great game, honestly.
It is. I wish they did. Yeah, they had a great ending. Everybody knows that ending by now. So
I was pissed at that ending.
you know,
Dear.
But yeah, I remember going in and just like doing stuff in the multiplayer and shit. It was just good fun, man. Just gonna be running around, then just some bitch turns up at the mine, and you'd be like, "Well, okay, hello." I'm trying to remember the names of any place, but I
yeah.
literally can't. Oh god, what the
Talking
fucking
about other
rank's called
games.
as well?
What are the other games? I remember playing that game so much online because it was GTA 5 before GTA 5. Because
The
GTA
multiplayer was quite different to GTA 5.
Yeah, but what I mean is
in that it
GTA
wasn't full of microtransactions.
Yeah, but GTA 4
which
wasn't
made it really awesome.
GTA 4 wasn't a big open world multiplayer. It was a co-op essentially. I think you could literally only have like 6 people on the multiplayer. Well, Red Dead was
8
like
people or something.
still that's very limiting for a GTA game. Especially when we had Red Dead at the same time. That's why I much preferred
No,
Red Dead.
Freeman was 15 players.
I just remember it being shit because you could do nothing in
You
it.
could do the posse of 8 players, yeah. Then
It
you
had
could do the
no
gang fights and
planes.
such.
Like the fuck. How am I not finding like the paid currency for Red Dead Online?
Don't know.
Why have they hidden it so far?
Red Dead Online buy gold. Stored up PlayStation as an example. It's £4.49 for 25 gold bars on PlayStation Store. But that's
you have to
obviously the
pay
PlayStation
That was
Store.
nice
Yeah.
and quick.
You have to pay a $5 for just to do a bounty hunt and get a bit extra. Right, annoying. Especially when I paid £20 or on sale £20 for the game. No, £32 for the game.
So £20, that's quite cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
What any other games? I'm trying to genuinely think of games. I'm just gonna look up games coming out.
Oh, sorry, my cat's an idiot.
Oh, I thought that was a
No, he's
baby.
not. You be nice to him.
Jasper.
Oh, you had to go and check on the restaurant for a bit. No, wise corporal. Hitman 3. That's actually a game I'm kind of looking forward to now that I've played Hitman 2. Dirt 5 would be
Steam was
interesting.
easy to browse.
Oh, I wish to.
I wish I could just get to the upcoming games thing, because that's a thing on Steam, but there's like no fucking way to do that without Googling it, and I can't be bothered to tab out and Google it. No one do it in the Steam.
Payday
client.
3 is confirmed for 2023. Is it actually?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yep, no, that is genuine.
Most annoying thing about Red Dead Redemption, to be honest, the second variety though, is that Steam keeps advertising it to me really hard. It's like, I own the game. Same with Satisfactory. It's like, stop advertising me your shit just because I don't have it on your platform, please. Oh god.
Yeah, okay. Hunting Simulator 2, that comes out.
Oh,
That comes
goody.
out sometime this month.
Upcoming releases. Here we go. The Outer Worlds. I'm pretty sure that game's out. Girl, Steam just fucking nails everything, doesn't it? Oh, Death Stranding's no, okay. Jesus Christ.
So here's some decent ones actually.
Oh my god.
You okay?
What's he doing to that poor cat? Honestly.
Yeah, no, I saw.
Sorry.
Oh, Star Breezy is what I saw said that. Planet Coast is coming out on PS4 and Xbox One to summer 2020. Finally. Hey, who recently got that game? I genuinely can't remember.
Okay.
Planet Coaster. Who got that?
Don't know.
Can't
Sounds like a good game.
remember.
It's pretty bad.
Apex Legends is coming out on the Switch fall 2020.
Cool.
Jesus. Apex Legends could have been the best battle royale.
But
I'm just saying it. Like, Apex Legends could have genuinely been the best battle royale. I don't think all battle royales are shit, because I think the genre is shit. But it could have been the best battle royale, and it is not.
Dying Light 2, which is a game I keep thinking is already out. We've got some good games. Orcs Must Die 3 on the... Oh, that's on the Stadia.
Yeah, Caden might like that.
It's already out. It's coming out on the Stadia. Stadia, is that what you call it? The Google box.
Google Stadia,
Google
yeah.
Stadia, yeah.
So popular upcoming releases is just a list of games that are already out.
Oh, okay. So Elite Dangerous Odyssey expansion is coming out in early 2021.
Hate Steam so much.
Skate, the new Skate. I'm actually genuinely looking forward to Skate 4. I hope they do well with that. That's a game I put way too many hours into. Skate 3. I loved that game to pieces. So I hope to God they do good with Skate 4. I hope they put good music into it because a lot of my music taste is. I literally have a lot of the Skate soundtrack on my phone on Spotify. I love Skate 3. I put too many hours into that, and the custom maps. It took me too long as a child to figure out how to get to custom maps, but I did it eventually. But no, I genuinely can't wait for that. Oh, you know what else comes out in 2021?
Can't wait for them to show us something to do that.
Why are these counted as two? Okay, these are two separate games apparently. GTA 5 and GTA Online are coming out on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. 2021.
God damn, when are they gonna let that game die?
Never, because it makes them too much money.
Predatory as fuck. Literal gambling.
Look.
But the UK declared it not gambling, Reese.
Emo.
Look, Reese.
Just
because you can play poker in a game with real money, exactly like you were playing poker in real life, does not make it gambling. It's completely different.
What was it? It's what did they call it?
It's a chance-based mini game.
Oh,
That's
so
the one.
here's another one I'm interested in. Dead Island 2. I remember that. I want to say that was 2015 that got announced.
That's been in development hell for a while. I doubt that.
But I'm actually excited for that because Dead Island was a good game. 2014 was when it was announced. I hope it is a good game when it eventually comes out. Elder Scrolls 6. I hope that's a good game when that comes out. Fallout 5 is apparently a game they're working on. I don't ever remember this being announced. Or like people saying, obviously there's going to be a new Fallout, but I don't remember them ever saying anything about it. GTA 6, that's obviously not going to be worked on for
Not
a good
that I followed
years.
Bethesda in intense detail recently, but I don't think they're working on a new Fallout main game. I'm pretty sure they're sticking pretty hard on 76.
I think they're working on it, but it's going to be in the background.
They'll probably be working on it in like planning stages, but not like a development focus. That will be ES6 for a while, I think. I think we'll see Elder Scrolls 6 in the next like couple, like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think like Fallout 76 will be the Fallout game for these few years. I'll try and get that lifespan out, and then bring in a new Fallout game a few years after Elder Scrolls 6.
Okay, so on this list,
I'm not looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, which is a weird thing to say as a massive Elder Scrolls fan, because Bethesda have disappointed the ever-living shit out of all of us in the past few years, and I just can't get my hopes up.
I hope it's good, but I doubt it. One of the games on here is Among the Wolves 2. The Wolves Among Us. Wow, 2. I don't think that's going to ever happen. But I don't know if there's news on it.
I doubt it. A lot of people want it. A lot of people like the first one.
Also, The Witcher 4 is on
good,
here.
Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was spectacular compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the people were saying, like, someone's put The Witcher 4 on here. I doubt that's going to be worked on for a good few years. Again, it's a small company, a relatively small company working on Cyberpunk, which is a huge game. So it's going to be a very long time before we see another Witcher series, like Witcher game. I feel like they shouldn't even make a new Witcher. I think leaving it at free, having the Netflix series, and it's already a book, that's plenty of Witcher. Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 were amazing games. Witcher 3 was questionable, but still a really good game. Like, it was a really good game, just not compared to Witcher 2. So I don't think they personally should work on a Witcher 4. Maybe expand on more, like, IPs, like Cyberpunk. Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart, that does look quite fun, but again, if you don't like Ratchet and Clank, I can understand. What else have people? Overwatch 2, which is literally just DLC for story.
I don't know, Alfie. He said it is. It sounds like it might be.
Metal Gear Solid 6 is. I doubt that's ever going to happen, and if so, it's going to be shit because it doesn't have Kojima helping.
You have just reminded me that, and in terms of games that I'm excited for, I've been scrolling through Steam, looking at shit, trying to remind myself of games that are coming up that I could be excited for. But I am quite excited for Overwatch 2 because I love the Overwatch universe, and having a dedicated Overwatch story game will be exciting. I'm also really excited for Diablo 4. If they
I
nail
literally just saw that. Yeah.
if Diablo 4 is good, I can see myself. If they nail the repeatable, I've said this to sometimes. If they nail the repeatable content in Overwatch 2, so it's actually fun on a repetitive basis, and Diablo 4 is a solid Diablo game. Like if it's Diablo 3 now levels of solid, or Diablo 2 levels of excellent, I will probably spend most of my life just playing Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 with Reese for the rest. Just that's it. I'll just
Yeah,
die happy.
I would like to just say, by the way, on this list, obviously these are just games either people have heard or just guessing. One of them being Chivalry 2 on PS5 and Xbox Series X. We've got
Destiny. Gonna be cool.
We've got Destiny 2 for the PS5 and Xbox X, and then we have Destiny 3, and they've got to be announced for the console. Now, if Destiny 2 is going to be on the Xbox 5 and Xbox Series X, I feel like it's safe to say Destiny 3 is going to be on the same consoles as well as PC.
I imagine so.
I would have assumed it's a safe bet to say, yeah, it's going to be on next gen consoles.
Oh yeah, fuck, that's.
So there are some interesting games on here that I'm looking forward to. Like Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. That's a game Legend of Zelda. Wow, Breath of the Wild is a game I do want to play. Not only the Switch, I can't. So that's gonna take some time. Oddworld, the new Oddworld looks. I'm not a big fan of Oddworld, but the new one just doesn't look good.
Really, I thought it looked amazing.
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I didn't really like Oddworld, so how do you feel about them going away from the Little Big Planet and going Sackboy?
As long as they've got the old like custom level designer, then
Oh yeah, that 3 was the best in my opinion.
yeah,
That was the best level designer.
yeah.
Warfare 1944 is a game I feel like nobody's gonna play or nobody's gonna care about. And XCOM 3 is on there. Why is XCOM 3 on there? Okay. I thought XCOM 3 was a game already for some reason.
Nope.
So some other games we've got.
Dying Light 2. That's
Dying Light
coming
2
up sometime.
Yep. There are some Horizon Forbidden West. Oh yes, the new Horizons game.
It's gonna be another one. Fair enough.
So they've just recently brought out they're bringing out Horizon Zero Dawn. Is it on PC or is it another one? And yeah, they're working on another one for PS5. Battlefield 6. Whoever knows, I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. There's rumors it's going to be sort of Battlefield 3-esque.
PS5 is actually an interesting topic for the future of games because having direct access storage is going to allow such amazing experiences for console gaming that I am really hoping it pushes for direct access storage on PC.
That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it's gonna. It's not something that's gonna be done in a couple months. Obviously not. But if a few years down the line I could get a motherboard from whether it be AMD or Intel, preferably AMD. I love you, AMD. That I could have a direct attach SSD. That would be so amazing for gaming.
That was the one thing they didn't say anything about, and they haven't said anything about yet. And I don't know if Xbox have. I think they have. Actually, I will have to do my research. I do apologise if I'm wrong on this. Do correct me. But have they spoken about how they're doing expandable storage
on PlayStation?
Yes.
5? I don't know.
Because something someone pointed out was they've obviously got their own SSD in it. And from what I saw, the SSD they're using is a very expensive SSD. So if they do what they did with the PlayStation 4, where you could just buy a PC version and just put it in if it's formatted, then that's a very expensive way of doing storage management, or at least upgrading your storage. So what they suggested is maybe PlayStation make their own version for obviously a bit more expensive, but it's cheaper than a PC SSD of that standard.
It's an 825 gigabyte SSD.
Yep.
That's completely custom designed with the custom flash controller, connected up to a custom interface thing, and it's got the custom decryption and decompression chip or whatever they call that thing. So I don't think like it's possible you could just put any SSD in there, but you wouldn't get the performance benefits out of it.
Mm.
So I don't know whether they'll sell larger ones. It depends on what the technology is. I don't know in detail how the architecture of their custom flash controller is limited in terms of scaling. It might be that it can't get bigger than 825 gigs, because 825 gigs is a pretty weird amount.
Yeah, I was going to say, why is it that? Is there any actual reasons they're doing that? As we were speaking about, fucking Cyberpunk is 80 gigabytes. Red Dead is 10. Red Dead is 100. So you could only install 8 realistic games of next gen, unless they somehow update or for some reason come with a new compression system, which I very much doubt, which lowers the game files or the total
it
game.
has live decompression. With a hardware level.
But
whether the
obviously
entire games are stored like that, I don't know, because games already compress a lot of stuff.
Obviously, and we don't even know the price of the console yet. There's rumors.
It's not going to be cheap.
There's rumors. The rumors I saw were about 500, which I could actually see.
500, yeah.
That's not too bad for a console, though, especially compared to the Xbox Series X.
In my opinion, I think it'll be worth £500.
Yeah.
For the new consoles, because I think.
And I personally think, I personally
maybe,
think that's where
it would be better than previous consoles.
That's why especially the PlayStation 3, that what retailed at 600 when it first came out. I think that's where PlayStation could be Xbox, is the price, because obviously the console is much bigger, and a lot of people's eyes is much uglier.
I'll put it like this:
stats wise, like actual specs wise, it's worse.
Right.
From the Xbox X Series. Yeah. So the only way they could win is price.
The Xbox Series X looks like the better device originally, and if it has, like a lot of people rumored from its very PC-like form factor, possible upgradability, that would be an incredibly viable selling point, because say the Xbox Series X also launches at 500, that would then be quite a realistic price to buy, use for 4 years, then upgrade the GPU in, as an example, right? And if that's something that's viable, I would definitely recommend people consider buying that for that reason. At the same time, what a direct access SSD is going to do the PS5 is, sure, it might be slightly lower on other specs, but games already look good enough. And not having loading times and not having shit in the distance not be loaded, when you can have that instantaneous ability to load shit from the SSD without having to rely on transfer times to RAM across shitty methods, it's just going to be such a different experience. The PS5 will win in the gaming experience, in my opinion.
I hope it does.
Specifically because of games that are made for the PS5, which there are a lot of.
Yeah. That's actually like, I remember we were talking a while ago about the PlayStation 5 being rumored to have heating issues. Do you think the SSD could be a big part of that?
No.
No.
Okay. Just wondering. I've heard about SSDs overheating obviously because of LEDs, but that was a long time ago.
Have you?
Yes, there was a Kingston LED SSD, and literally, like, if you just booted on it, it would overheat. Hey, Hyper.
That sounds like an interesting issue, but
right, I'm testing.
Can't see that being repeated.
I am testing something. Right, Crystal Disk Mark.
Now you've done it.
I'm gonna run Crystal Disk Mark on my Skyrim SSD. Actually, no, I won't have space on there. I'll run it on
yeah, no, I'm saying
SSD.
it was because of a fucking LED. Okay, calm down.
Right, and I'm gonna get
I'm
the
still not
temperature
sure an
up.
LED would. Like, yeah, the.
You want me to send you the video?
I mean, sure. This sounds like a faulty.
It sounds like a
product more than
problem, yeah,
anything.
of the product than the SSD.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a bad. The Kingston just made a big mistake. I think it was Kingston. It was
That's my drive.
They just made a stupid mistake and made an SSD with an LED that just overheated the SSD.
Okay. So my SSD is currently at 33 degrees. I'm running a 2 gigabyte test on it.
There you go.
It's still at 33 degrees.
God, this video. I saw it was recommended, but didn't click it because of a stupid title and thumbnail.
Oh, it was HyperX. Never mind. I do apologise, Kingston.
It's a
Please
Jay's
send me all
video.
your SSDs.
I like Jay's.
Speaking of hyper,
So yeah, the rumored
Okay, we've hit 34 degrees C now. We're getting close to danger levels.
at the moment the rumored amount for the PlayStation 5 is the $500, £450, or 750 US Australian dollars. Which again, honestly, I feel like if the Xbox Series X don't do a good price, like if PlayStation can win price-wise, there'll be a better gaming console, especially with the SSD architecture, and the fact that there's no loading times and you can render millions of items hundreds of meters away, sort of idea. I feel like
I think the SSD will improve the experience more than a negligible change in graphics for a console. Because games already look good. Like,
and
let's be honest.
have you seen the example that the I don't know if it was the example they gave on the Spider-Man between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5? Like there was let me get it quickly. I'll show stream.
I saw the Unreal Engine, whichever version it was, demo. Unreal Engine 4, is it these days? 5? I don't remember.
5, Unreal 5.
That was pretty impressive if you watched game dev stuff or know anything about game dev stuff. Like, granted, it's not like completely groundbreaking, but it was exciting. It's exciting. I mean, the future of gaming is exciting.
There we go. Is this Spider-Man? Yeah, this is kind of about what Alfie was talking about. I can't show you guys, never mind. I'll send it in chat though, so then you guys can see it and we can look at it. This was a while ago actually. And it's pretty.
Okay, this looks so unofficial.
This was a while ago. Also under development apparently.
Who'd have guessed?
Interesting. Yeah.
So, and that is literally just not hardware. That's just SSD performance. I would have said a majority.
I mean, yeah, the SSD is 10 gigabits. 10 gigaflops, sorry, a second, I think. In IO
I'll find you in a minute. I'll find it for you. Memory bandwidth is 448 gigabytes.
I had the specs up earlier, but I closed them. Because,
So, yeah, memory
2
bandwidth is...
gigabyte and 0.27 seconds is an example load time. The bandwidth is 5 gigabytes a second.
Yeah.
Seek time's instantaneous. Yeah, it's a cool SSD.
Absolutely.
What was the meme with the backwards compatibility? Because I saw people posting that.
It's not going to be backwards compatible, is it?
Because it said backwards compatibility, PS5 native mode, PS4's got a Pro Legacy mode, and if I'm not wrong, PS3 has
Oh yeah, it's PS5, PS4 Pro, and PS4 it supports.
Okay.
But it won't support PS3. Which is, I mean, I understand why there's probably a lot of architectural differences.
Game installations will be more configurable.
Nice.
Game sizes should be smaller apparently.
Okay.
So due to the SSD only solution with the PS5 developers, so it'll probably be PlayStation only games then. Maybe, yes. But developers will no longer need to duplicate data to make the standard 550. Basically to make faster loading times. Oh, actually, talking about that, because I just saw about accessories. How do we all feel? And this, in my opinion, doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like you're all going to say the exact same. But how do we feel? What do we feel about the supposed rumors that the iPhone 12 won't come with either a headset, charging cable, or literally any accessory?
Okay. I will rephrase that as the rumors that the iPhone 12 might not come with a charging cable and a headphone jack.
or anything basically. Just the phone.
Or earphones.
Have they come with earphones for like 5
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, they've always come with their shitty little plastic ones. Well, they're not that bad, but they're just solid plastic, so they're uncomfortable as fuck.
Weird.
I
Hmm.
mean, without the earphones is fine because who the fuck uses those earphones
Yeah.
anyway? Everyone's got their own.
Charging cable's the confusing one for me.
Yeah, like if they were going for a more wireless charging approach, then surely they'd want to include a wireless charging pad.
Yeah, you would expect when you're spending £1,200 on a phone, you get something to charge said phone,
Yeah,
no matter
no.
which way it's charged.
it's like I think wasn't their excuse was, oh, everyone's already got a charge. I'm like,
Hmm.
Actually, no. What they're doing is they're doing Steve Jobs' motto is, if you want to work good, work as a team. So if you want to have a good phone, buy all the other things separately so they work as a team, and you'll have the ultimate device.
Yeah. I think the way it will work is, say you're on Apple's website or in an Apple store, you're purchasing an iPhone 12. No extra headphones with earphones, what you want to call them, sorry. No charging cable. But I do reckon you'll be able to add it on for very cheap. Like it might be that you can add on a charging cable for like $10 or something.
Yeah.
And but that's weird. Why would Apple not overcharge for it? I think all it is a cost savings. They can still sell the iPhone 12 at whatever the price of an iPhone is these days, right? Without a charging cable, which saves them money and increases their profit margins. But then for the people that are buying the phone new, because obviously a lot of Apple's customers are upgrades from previous iPhones, right? So they
Yeah.
already have chargers, so they're not going to need to buy the charger, and that's going to seem like, oh, that's good for me. But then the new people will just add on a charger. It won't actually cost them that much more, so it's not going to put them off buying the phone. But it just saves Apple money.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
do think that it's possible down the line. Apple might be looking at just flat removing the charger, because that's a very Apple thing. I can completely see an Apple thing, but there's no charging put on our phones. But it's okay because there's a new Apple wireless charging pad
Don't
that
forget.
isn't Qi compatible and charges at like 1 watt, and it's okay though because your phone battery is like 1 megaamp.
Let's not forget, this is the company that sold a monitor stand for, what was it, £1,000?
Okay, that was justified, and I'm not arguing otherwise.
Okay, please justify that for me.
In the market that product was being sold for, most people did not need a monitor stand. Yes, it was overpriced, but every single Apple product is, and it was a really nice engineered monitor stand. But the reality is that the product itself didn't need to come with a monitor stand because no one fucking buys a monitor stand for that tier of product. It's just not necessary. It's not a nice, optimal thing to do, but it was justified.
Can I also say,
$500 for fucking floor stoppers on the bottom of their fucking cheese grater.
okay, justify that.
It's like-
Right.
You can't justify that.
I just want to.
999.99 for holes in the side.
God damn it. I do want to say this, by the way, going back onto the PlayStation. I'm just reading on their accessories. One thing that surprises me, because I don't know why. I know the Xbox had it at some point, but they're advertising a media remote. So obviously, this is going for more of it's a console as well as a media player.
What, on the Xbox?
No, PlayStation 5. But they
I'm
also,
pretty sure Xbox had moved away from media because
Yeah.
the Xbox One was very media focused,
it was all in
and
one.
a lot of people didn't like that.
It does annoy me though that the PlayStation 3, like don't Sony have, not the rights, but like the patent for Blu-ray, something like that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. I know since the 3, they've been not media focused, but they've come with like a disc tray for Blu-rays
Yeah.
and things.
But the other thing is
Why do uneducated people think Sony owns Blu-ray tech? Xbox 360 Game FAQ. You're uneducated according to
wow.
Full Zero.
Yeah,
on the
Sony
Xbox
didn't
360
quote
board
Blu-ray and
Game
don't own the
FAQ.
royalties to them. Anyway.
Oh, those headphones look flimsy as hell.
Oh no, I quite like the headphones. They
Okay,
do
so
beautiful.
Sony owns shares in the Blu-ray technology.
Okay. But the other thing they say, they're gonna have they've also got a HD camera, which console doesn't. with this is the bit that gets me. Dual 1080 lenses. Oh, so it just has lenses that have got 1080 sort of like what? Do they mean
Yeah.
1080 like 1080 sensors or something? Like,
Both of them are 1080p.
well, that's what I presume. But the fact they named it 1080
That's not how
lenses,
cameras work, though.
yeah, they're not. The lens isn't the resolution.
You don't get your nice new stills camera and decide, oh, actually, this still's not quite detailed enough. I'll just go get a new 8K lens. That's not how it works.
No.
I can't put a 4K lens on this and make it natively 4K.
It's
That would be amazing.
That would. That's next that's what we need next gen.
Yeah, next gen, the camera is just a body and a circuit board, and the lens goes far enough in for the sensor. On like a mirrorless design, you just pull out the fucking entire thing.
No,
and shove it in.
no. Cameras are literally just like all the like electric bits. Lenses are the sensor and the lens itself from now on.
Oh god.
But yeah, so dual, and I've heard that PlayStation VR will work on PlayStation 5, which makes sense.
So I think they'll probably be bringing out a new PlayStation VR.
That's what I hope,
update.
because that's what they did. They seem to do better than Xbox because one, they had a decent handheld console, which Xbox haven't done. In my opinion, the Vita was half decent. Again, just a personal opinion.
PSP was decent. The
The PSP was. I like the PSP and the PS Vita, but fuck's sake, I'm gonna call it a day after this one. Yeah. We'll call it an end in a minute anyway.
Oh,
What the fuck's going on with Reese's? And the fact that they brought out,
Charlie, don't worry.
yeah, the fact they brought out VR for consoles was a bold move. It wasn't the
It's
best
bold.
VR, but it's.
I know. I think the PlayStation VR is the best VR. Come at me. No, I don't.
No, it's not the best, but it's got okay tracking. It does use a weird way of tracking. Lights isn't
I
always
have
the
a couple
best.
problems with the PlayStation VR. I don't think it should. I don't know. It's tough.
It
But
can
I don't
be.
think it should be considered VR.
It should be.
Yes, it's VR, but it doesn't really have tracking.
It-
Like,
it-
it has tracking, but it doesn't really have tracking.
I don't think it should be counted as VR, but it is VR because it doesn't really have tracking, but it does have tracking.
Okay, it tracks really weirdly, and it doesn't work
I'll
in bright
rephrase it. I'll
rooms.
rephrase it.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is, when you pick up a product, it has a classification, right?
Yes.
Like I don't know, like an age rating. I would like
Yeah.
to see VR products gain a standardized like ISO or IE classification, where it's like, this is VR1, which is like complete room scale tracking, like Valve Index or Vive style. Or then like inside out tracking is like VR2, and then like light based like tracking or like image recognition or color based tracking like the PS VR is like VR3. So people understand, because I think the PlayStation VR is a great product in it. It's an incredibly accessible, cheap VR thing with some great party games on it and some great PS exclusives for VR. That's awesome. The problem is that I don't like it that people are like, oh, I'm going to try this VR thing out, put on a PlayStation VR, get nauseated if there's someone that suffers from nausea in VR because of the poor tracking, or the game's design isn't as exciting as they think because they haven't done, say, the Index, which is a completely different scope of VR. Because it costs like it costs like 5 times the price, right? And it's like, of course it does, because it's different. And I just think PSVR puts a bad taste in people's mouths about other VR products. And I think it would be better if people could appreciate the PSVR for providing an accessible, cheap option to some good VR games without associating it with in the same class as like an Oculus
I feel
or a
like
Vive or an Index.
I feel like how we should just classify it is PSVR is console VR, being the only console VR. So it's limited to, and don't forget, Sony they could have made it so much better, but they wanted to use the technology they had. So they already had their light tracking camera, because they have the motion track controls. So obviously they're going to use that motion tracking for their headset because they've already got that code, they've already got that technology. So it was probably the cheapest way they could have done it. They could have probably done something like the Valve Index or the Rift S, but it would have just cost more. It would have taken that price up. It would have been better tracking, better VR in total. but for the everyday consumer who's on a console, I don't think it would have justified that extra bit of money. So for what it is, you know, as Alfie said, it's what it is. You're paying for what you get.
Yeah. I just think it provides a bad reputation to VR because people try it
I think
and they just sort of go, "This is cool, but it's not great," or they have nausea and they go, "This is cool, but I get really sick playing it." It's like, but there's so much more you can do for like nausea mitigation on an index versus the PSVR. And it's just, I don't know, it puts a bad taste in people's mouths. And I don't think everyone should go buy an index. It's very expensive.
yes.
But
I Rift S.
I will also say the index is a fucking awesome VR headset and its experience is so far beyond any other.
I don't think I've ever said on the stream before, but the last time I pressed it, last time I tried, I smashed his shelf.
You did.
And almost ran out the window.
I didn't hear about that bit.
I'm joking. But I think I think we should start calling that a bit of a day.
Really?
There.
Is that what we're gonna call
Also,
it?
Yeah.
I do just want to point out, a lot of long-time fans of Tak here may know that he has loved games that involve guns for quite a long time.
Oh shit.
Yep.
It did take him about 14 hours to realise he needed to chamber a rifle in.
No,
Hot Dogs,
it
Horses, and Hang Gliders.
didn't.
I'm gonna
I know
believe
the
Alfie here, man.
I know the inside and out. I know the inside and out of a gun. No, it wasn't. It was the controls I was trying to figure out.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
That's not an excuse. It still took you that long to chamber it.
Mm.
Anyway, let's call it a night there. Do you guys want to promote anything? Shout anything out?
Twitch.tv/tacticaltv.
It's a good one.
That is my favourite.
I want to shout out twitch.tv/moderator/tacticaltv. It's where the cool kids hang out.
Yep. I'd like to shout out the Discord. As of yesterday, Delicious here is now the moderator of it, and he's in control of everybody. So if anybody has a mistake,
awesome,
go
but
to
I didn't
him.
hear about this.
Is this true?
yeah.
Did this happen?
Panda decided that Delicious should be the overall runner of the Discord. So if anything goes wrong, it's all on him.
Oh.
This is on record, by the way.
Do I get
Yeah.
severance pay?
No.
But yeah, you got nothing else to shout out? Anybody, Reese?
Nope.
Your Fortress?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
No,
thank you.
Fortress. All I will say, just before you do your thing, is right at the very end of the podcast. I'll just do something before you end it. Okay.
Oh, I
So just
appreciate it.
do your thing.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, Corporal Obsessing, Evan for the bits as well, and Hyper for coming in, as well as Weekend. Absolute legend. Thank you very much for having a fun time. This will go up on the channel probably Thursday. I'll get the 4th episode up on Wednesday or tomorrow. So yeah, it should be
It's
good.
the most consistent upload schedule for
Yeah.
YouTube, isn't it?
Oh, it's. I'm just catching up, and then it'll be Thursday, so 2 days after the podcast goes out live.
Okay.
It will come up on the channel, on the YouTube channel, 2 days later. So I hope you did enjoy this week. Next week should be more fun. I've got nothing planned, but it should be a more fun. Right, hit it.
Double headshot!
Hey! Right, thank you very much,
Glad you
everybody.
waited.
Keep the dream going. You're making the dream come true, and we shall see you in the next game.
God.